We're in here live from the Beck Center Studios. It's Thrift Barringer. It's Richard Holdridge inside the GIAA, around the association, ready to rock, ready to roll, ready to do what we do, Big Rich. And, man, playoff football's here. I can't be more fired up. We got competition cheerleading state championships this Saturday. We just had the Clay Target State Championship. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about flag football. Great show in store. Let go.
Yeah. Oh, man, doing great. Let's do this, man. We got football playoffs second round as we have got quarterfinal action for all classifications in the GIAA. Flag football season, we're going to put a bow on this thing. Got one more week of flag football season before the playoffs start on November the 18th. We just had the Clay Target shooting at the Savannah Gun Club. And like you mentioned, competition cheerleading, sideline cheerleading. Man, and also, not to mention, winter sports just happened this past week.
Got a lot we're going to be getting into. As always, we are presented by the Beck Center. Thank you to Roger Beck and the Beck Center, as always, for his support of everything that we do in the GIAA. And it's been a great fall season for sure. We got state championships on the loose, Big Rich. And we have football playoffs, quarterfinals this week, semifinals for 1A, quarterfinals in 8-man, and in 2A, 3A, and 4A. We'll have semifinals next week and the state championship the following week. So busy next couple of weeks. Remember, the high school football scoreboard show will be this Friday. We're going to be lights out because we're going to be having, can you believe this, Richard? We're going to have the 2 semifinal games in 1A, and then we got 4 games in every other classification. So there's 18 games that we're going to be talking about. 36 teams vying for a state championship left in 8-man and 1A through 4A GIAA.
Yeah,
football.
Cannot wait for that scoreboard show. 11 o'clock Friday night, and let's go as we're a couple of weeks away from those football championships in Macon.
GIAA.tv is the place where you can watch all those state championships, Richard. Go to GIAA.tv, and then you'll see the vault. You get access. You pay, I think it's, last time I checked, we're going to have to look that up because I probably should already know it. GIAA.tv is the name, is the site that you need to be on when you want to be able to watch live games. Now, if you want to be able to watch all the games that we've ever done, it's $5.99 a month, $59.99 for the year. That's $5.99 a month for the monthly pass to the vault to rewatch every game the GIAA has ever done. And I'm telling you, there is some great stuff in there. And I'm going to go back and watch some of the last year's state championships as we get ready for this year live from Mercer 5-Star Stadium.
Yeah, $5.99 great deal, but the $59.99 a year is an even better deal because you're going to get 2 months for free. So you cannot beat that deal, and you could go back and watch any event that GIAA.tv has live streamed in its history. And we could just live stream the softball championships we just broadcast, the volleyball championships we just broadcast. You mentioned the football championship last year, the basketball championships, and the baseball championships. So it's a great deal and a great way just to go back and rehash some of the incredible highlights that the GIAA had to offer.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Richard. So go to GIAA.tv. That is where you'll watch all the state championships. You'll be able to watch cheerleading this upcoming week, so we can't wait for that. Cheerleading state competition cheer, $24.99 for access all day Saturday to watch those state championships starting at 10:30, $24.99 for all those. Come on, you cannot beat that anywhere. And it's the cost of 2 adult tickets. So GIAA, and then make sure, as always, to follow us on Instagram. Make sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then we'll give you all the news and notes of around the association. We're going to take a break. When we come back from break, we're going to have more here, and which includes, we're going to talk about what happened with Clay Target Championships, Richard. We're going to talk about state competition and cheerleading and more coming up next.
This copyrighted broadcast, presented exclusively on GIAA.TV, is copyrighted by the Georgia Independent Athletic Association, a division of the Georgia Independent School Association, for the private use of our audience. It may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the Georgia Independent School Association. GIAA.TV now brings you more live coverage of more sports than ever before. Announcing GIAA.TV Lite with live coverage of swim, wrestling, cheer, and more. GIAA.TV Lite is the next best thing to being there. From one screen, you will hear the crowd, see the action, the scores, the stats, and more. With no play-by-play or instant replays, GIAA.TV Lite is half the price of our regular broadcast. Announcing GIAA.TV Plus. With all of your fan favorites, GIAA.TV Plus now adds volleyball, softball, all-star football, and more, featuring all the play-by-play, instant replays, multiple angles, and more, all for less than the cost of 2 adult tickets to the event. Don't miss 1 second of the action all year long, only on GIAA.TV.
Welcome back, everyone. Thrift Barringer here live with Richard Holdridge. It's inside the GIAA. And Richard, we just had the Clay Target State Championships, and I was proud. And we were proud to announce that the state championships were won by Benedictine. So congratulations to Benedictine Military School on winning the 2025 GIAA Clay Target State Championship for the General Division. Congratulations to them. So one more time, the General Division, Benedictine is your state champions. Also, your state champions for the Class 3A is Strong Rock. So congratulations to Strong Rock for winning the 3A classification Clay Target State Championship. Also, congratulations to some other state championship individual winners from Skeet, Trap, Sporting Clays. We had several individual winners that were able to win state championship. I did not get all the names in that, but you can go right now and check out all the photos on the Instagram page right now to see the individual award winners. But Strong Rock and Benedictine School, your state champions.
Yeah, Benedictine, they won the general division because they are a GHSA school that actually competes in 4A, but they don't have clay target shooting at the GHSA level. And I thought it was fitting that the military school in Benedictine, it's an all-boys military school, won the clay target shooting, because if there's anybody out there that could shoot with precise expertise, it's definitely a military school.
And by the way, Gatewood won the 2A.
There you go.
So Gatewood 2A, Strong Rock 3A, and Benedictine won the general division in the GIAA Clay Target State Championship.
Congratulations to all the winners and all the individual clay target shooters. It's a great accomplishment.
It was, man, and they had an awesome time able to be there. It looked like fantastic outing, beautiful weather was perfect, and could not be a better night to showcase a better event, and for the 2 days to showcase those state champions in Savannah. Congratulations once again to 2A Gatewood, 3A Strong Rock, and general division winner Benedictine. Congratulations to those state champions. Sorry. Coming week, we're going to be live from Tackle for the cheerleading state competition. So that should be a lot of fun, Richard. I know you're excited about that.
Very, very excited.
And we're going to have that on GIAA.TV, the state competition cheer championships, $24.99. You'll be able to watch all those. We will have play-by-play. We'll have people on site, great camera angles, and a great way to showcase his elite talent.
Yeah, very much so. And I think that cheerleading, we talk about the many different competitions with sideline cheer, game day cheer, and of course the competition cheer. There's just a lot of skill and a lot of effort that goes into that. A lot of high schools don't have gymnastics, and I think that cheerleading, especially at the competition level, best thing as far as some of the stunts that they do. It takes a lot of gymnastic skills for the cheerleading competition. So good luck to all the participants.
Also on the Instagram, we are proud to announce in the GIAA the 2024-2025 last school year state sportsmanship award winners. Class 1A, Covenant Academy. Congratulations to Covenant. 2A, Briarwood. 3A, Dominion Christian. And 4A, Athens Christian. They are your sportsmanship award winners. Regional winners are selected by receiving the fewest marks against them during the season. Then regional winners vote to determine the overall state winner for each class. We are proud to recognize these programs for demonstrating respect, integrity, and true sportsmanship. Covenant 1A, Briarwood 2A, Dominion Christian 3A, and Athens Christian 4A, Richard.
Yeah, congratulations to all the teams and all the classifications that won the Sportsmanship Award. And it's a very prestigious award. I mean, it's something that you have pride in because, it means that you've run your program the right way. Then they look at all that stuff. They're just trying to go through the behind the scenes and making sure that everything runs smoothly. And it has really nothing to do with game day. It's just that respect, that integrity that these schools are really what GIAA schools stand for. A lot of them, they stand for this excellence. So it's an honor to receive this award.
No doubt. And we are proud to recognize all of them for their great support. So congratulations. And again, we are seeing who's going to win that this year.
There we go.
Sportsmanship State Award winners. All right, we'll take another break. When we come back, we'll have more. It is time now to go into deep detail. The semifinals for 1A and quarterfinals for 8-man, 2A, 3A, and 4A for football is this Friday night. We cannot wait. Don't go anywhere. We're breaking down all the brackets. Richard's going to ruffle some feathers. We'll be right back after this.
Founded in 1985, the Georgia Independent School Association proudly represents nearly 170 accredited private, independent, and parochial schools across the state. From Tallulah Falls to St. Simon's Island, from Columbus to Augusta, our schools serve over 76,000 students every year. Whether parents are interested in smaller class sizes, more individual attention, a religious-based curriculum, or a safe and structured environment, the GISA provides a strong education, which is the foundation for success. To learn more about the GISA and how they can serve your school, visit us online at www.gisaschools.org.
Back, everyone, to the Beck Center studios. Thrift, Barringer, Richard Holdridge, and let's throw them up, Rich. 8-man football. Donovan. Take goes down to David Emmanuel, and David Emmanuel will now take on Sherwood Christian in the quarterfinals. Citizens Christian loses to Fullington, so upsets happened in the first round. So let's look at the quarterfinals. I think we're going to have no problem seeing Sherwood. They're going to make their way back to the championship. They're undefeated. I think they take care of business easily against David Emmanuel. I'm going to go chalk Sherwood versus Georgia Christian. I think Westminster gets beat. Vialia Heritage is going to make it, and they're going to take on, I think, Westwood. So I got Georgia Christian beating Westminster. I think the only upset is going to be Westwood taking out Westminster of Augusta. And I am still going to go Vidalia and Sherwood in that. But for the quarterfinals, how do you see this one playing out in 8-man football, Rich? What are you excited about?
I have got all top 4 seeds advancing to the semifinals. Sherwood Christian beating the number 9 seed David Emmanuel. I got Georgia Christian beating Westminster Christian. Vidalia Heritage over the 10 seed Fullington. And I think that this Westminster Schools of Augusta Westwood matchup is actually going to be a lot closer than people expect. But I do think Westminster Schools of Augusta does pull out the narrow win.
Okay. So now let's go from 8-man. And again, all these will happen this Friday night. Now let's go from 8-man to the semifinals of 1A. I got Robert Toombs and Flint River. I think Flint River upsets Edmundburg and makes it back, and we get a rematch to the 2023 state championship in which Flint River took down Robert Toombs in a classic there. Robert Toombs is the best team. They're the favorite, the defending champion. Don't look at their record, which is 5-5. I wouldn't pay no mind to that. I think this team is every bit as talented as in some other teams in 2A. I think they could compete for a 2A state championship. So definitely going to be the favorite in 1A. How do you see this one playing out, Richard?
Yeah, obviously Robert Toombs is the defending champions. They are the strongest team in this bracket. And I think that it's going to be the rematch of last year's championship. So it's going to be number 1 Robert Toombs taking on number 2 Edmund Burke on November 21st at Mercer University.
So there is the semifinals that will be this week, and the winner will play in the championship. They'll get a bye. Winners will get a bye heading into the next week. Now let's go to the 2A classification. Brentwood is the heavy favorite. Windsor took down Augusta Prep, so they'll go to Brentwood, and Gatewood took care of Heritage. They will go to Southwest Georgia. I think Brentwood takes care of Windsor, and I think Briarwood and Brentwood are going to set up for some type of great semifinal. I think they have no problem with Trinity Christian. Same with Southwest Georgia at Southland. I think it's going to be a rematch of that regular season final that went down to the wire. And I'm still seeing a Brentwood Southwest Georgia rematch of last year's championship quarterfinals. Which game are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that Briarwood Trinity Christian matchup. I think Trinity Christian pulls off the upset to advance to the semifinal. Southland Central Fellowship. We've got another upset alert. I think Central Fellowship beats Southland.
By the way, Central Fellowship 5-5, and Trinity Christian are both 5-5. Briarwood 8-2 on the year, second best record within 2A.
But I think the championship is going to be Brentwood Southwest Georgia again, like last year.
All right, let's go to 3A classification, Richard. So in the 3A classification, Pinewood wins and Piedmont wins. So Piedmont's going to go on the road and take on 9-1 John Millage. Piedmont is now 7-4 on the season. Pinewood goes to 5-6 as they beat Terrell. I think both 1A and 2A classification are going to, I think number 1, number 2 teams, they have no problems with Piedmont and Pinewood. So I got John Millage and Different Windsor still on that collision course. Valwood Frederica is probably the game of the 3A classification. 7-3 Frederica taking on 6-3 Valwood. And it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, it will be at Valwood. So I think this game's going to be up for grabs. I'm leaning still more towards Valwood. They're the team that's played in the state championship in back-to-back seasons. Never count out a team that knows what it takes to make a deep playoff run. So I got Valwood winning that. And Westfield Tift area. Remember, this game went down to the wire. Tift area was able to pull off the massive upset earlier this year against Westfield. Final score was 20-19, but it was at home. I'm going to lean Westfield, but I would not be shocked if there's an upset. What do you got, Rich?
Well, it's hard to beat a team twice. I think Westfield advances past Tift area. It's still going to be a close game. Deerfield Windsor, remaining undefeated, is going to get past Pinewood. Valwood is going to advance over Frederica. Just too much experience. They won the state title 2 years ago. They were in the state title last year. And it's going to leave for an interesting matchup because John Millage is going to have no problem against Piedmont. So it's going to leave a semifinal matchup between John Millage and Valwood and Deerfield Windsor and Westfield. And these semifinal matchups are going to be as good as it gets. And I got a feeling that we're going to see a new member, actually 2 new members. I'm calling the upset. I think John Millage and Westfield play in the 3A championship.
Oh, wow.
Which would give us 2 new participants in that championship
from
game.
last year. But John
compared
Millage
to last
obviously
year. Yeah, compared to last year.
Made it plenty of times before the one, because last year was an anomaly.
It was an anomaly. John Millage,
perennial powerhouse.
Hard to believe that they didn't even make it last year. But
it really
last year, it was Deerfield, Windsor, and Valwood. This year, I think it's going to be John Millage and Westfield.
All right, let's go to 4A classification. Pacelli dominated Loganville. Loganville came in 7-3, Pacelli 5-5, but it's about strength of schedule, and it showed in this one. Pacelli had no problem. They're going to take on their rival, Brookstone. And Calvary with the unbelievable upset over Bethlehem Christian, down 28-17 late in the fourth, and having that interception return for a touchdown, a long-distance 75-yard run by Jamar Williams. He had both the pick six and the long run. And Calvary takes down Bethlehem Christian for their first ever GIAA playoff win, and they're going to go on the road to number 1, Stratford. So let's talk about this week's game. Now, Stratford is without their leading rusher and leading wide receiver, but the team is still super talented. The freshman running back is just as good. It is going to take an incredible game for Calvary to pull off the upset, but never say never. But I still lean more towards Stratford. Bullock and George Walton, that may be the game that everybody's circling because you got undefeated George Walton. Are they for real? Is this a team that can win a championship, or are they a product of maybe a little bit easier schedule compared to others? And for Bullock Academy, 8-2, they're the defending champion. They're like, we're 8-2, same record as Stratford, same record as Brookstone, and we got one more win than FPD, yet we're number 4 as the defending champion. They feel like they're disrespected. Brookstone and Pacelli, I mean, that's a rivalry, a rematch. They've played 3 of the last 4 years in the playoffs, and both teams, this is the 3rd time, both teams got a win. Brookstone won in 23, Pacelli won in 22, and FPD and Strong Rock, every one of these games could be classics, man. I don't know. I think it's like throwing darts. I want to say chalk and we get Stratford, Bullock, Brookstone, FPD, but I wouldn't be surprised if Pacelli took down Brookstone. I really think that could absolutely happen. I would not be shocked if George Walton took down Bullock, and I wouldn't be shocked if Strong Rock FPD. Now, if Calvary beats Stratford, that would be a surprise for me. But how do you feel like these 4A quarterfinals are going to go?
Yeah, I really want to take chalk here, but I'm calling the upset. I think Strong Rock is going to take down FPD. I think Brookstone advances past Pacelli, and I think you got George Walton going to still be undefeated. They take down the champs, the Bullock Academy, and they're going to be playing Stratford Academy. I think Stratford does advance past Calvary, and my championship still, like I said last week, is going to be Brookstone Stratford. And Stratford was in this championship game back in 2022. I remember that game because that was when Pacelli beat them like 10-0. It was just a defensive struggle. But Stratford is trying to win a state championship, and I know that they are so close. Having the overall number 1 seed, having home field advantage is huge. Yes, they did lose their running back Stevens, but they got a freshman, and they just plug and play. And that's why they are the number 1 overall seed. And that's why I think that it's going to be Stratford winning it all. But I think that they play the number 2 seed, the Brookstone Cougars, in the state championship.
I'm not ready to say who's playing the state, but I will lean Stratford, Bullock, and I'm just not ready to make that pick, man. Brookstone Pacelli, I really feel like that is such a game that I just have a feeling it's hard beating a team twice.
Yeah, it's true.
And Brookstone's won the last 3 times against Pacelli after they were on a 3-game winning streak. Could the tide flip? And this is kind of where it flipped in 2023. Brookstone had lost 3 consecutive games to Pacelli, actually 5, and then Brookstone beat them in the playoffs. And since then they've been on a win streak. Could that flip? And by the way, at that time when Brookstone finally beat Pacelli after their losing streak, it was Pacelli the number 2, Brookstone the number 7. Now it's just kind of flipped sides. Yeah. It's going to be a good one, so cannot wait. Here are your playoffs right now, and we're going to talk about all these games coming up this Friday night on the High School Football Scoreboard Show, Big Ridge Show. Cannot wait for that. We're going to take another break. We'll talk flag football coming up next here on Inside the GIAA.
This copyrighted broadcast, presented exclusively on GIAA.tv, is copyrighted by the Georgia Independent Athletic Association, a division of the Georgia Independent School Association, for the private use of our audience. It may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the Georgia Independent School Association.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. the Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
GIAA.TV now brings you more live coverage of more sports than ever before. Announcing GIAA.TV Lite with live coverage of swim, wrestling, cheer, and more. GIAA.TV Lite is the next best thing to being there. From one screen, you will hear the crowd, see the action, the scores, the stats, and more. With no play-by-play or instant replays, GIAA.TV Lite is half the price of our regular broadcast. Announcing GIAA.TV Plus. With all of your fan favorites, GIAA.TV Plus now adds volleyball, softball, all-star football, and more. Featuring all the play-by-play, instant replays, multiple angles, and more, all for less than the cost of 2 adult tickets to the event. Don't miss 1 second of the action all year long, only on GIAA.TV.
Welcome back, everyone. Thrift, Barringer here. Richard Holdridge. Big Rich, how you been, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. Ready to talk some flag football.
All right, Rich, let's talk about it. The number one team, obviously, is Pacelli, 11-1 on the season. They have beaten teams like Milton, the number one team in Georgia. They just beat Heritage 26-0. They're beating Carver, Jordan, Stars Mill, Alatoona, Whitewater, New Manchester, Northgate, McIntosh, Pike County. They have been playing top-notch,
playing lights out
teams from all across the state, and GHSA and the GIAA. What do you think right now, Rich?
Well, I think that Pacelli is poised to win their 4th straight flag football state championship. And those flag football championships will be held November the 20th at the campus of Mount DeSales in Macon. And I think that even though Pacelli lost their big-time receiver, Michaela Hosley, who's now at Georgia Southern, and Grace Smith, another fantastic flag football player, they still are loaded with talent. Oh, and I forgot to mention they did lose their quarterback, Kendall Isaacs, too. So, yeah, a lot of talent lost up. But the thing about their flag football coach, Coach Zach Cochran, is that he reloads that. I can't think of a better flag football coach, somebody that actually played flag football in college. And he's really developing them to get scholarships to play flag football at the next level. We're starting to see NAIA schools like Point University that are starting to have flag football teams. And so there are opportunities there. And I think that they have been the standard when it comes to flag football in the GIAA.
I'll give you a team that is trying to keep up with them, and their name is Harvester Christian. They're 8-1 on the season right now. Remember who they played last year in the championship, which was
Georgia Christian.
Georgia Christian. I wouldn't count them out. Citizens Christian as well, Richard. I wouldn't count them out. So those are some of the teams that I've seen so far that I would keep a lookout on. So Citizens Christian, Georgia Christian, and then Harvester Christian as well. I expect them to be a team that can compete for it. William and Reed, also another team that could be competitive. We've seen Mount DeSales make it to the championship the year before that. So we'll see what's going to happen and who's trying to really keep up with Pacelli right now for those flag football championships.
Yeah, it's really Pacelli versus the field. If you see all those talented flag football teams, and they are growing, you're starting to get more GIAA teams that are adding flag football to their schedule. And we expect more GIAA teams to continue to grow the sport of flag football. But it's really Chase and Pacelli as they try to go for their 4th straight championship.
So flag football state championships coming up November the 20th. That's Mount DeSales. 8-man and flag football will be there along with the All-Star game. Then on November the 21st, that's Friday, will be at 5-Star Stadium, 1A and 3A. And then on Saturday, 2A and 4A. Part of a 3-day weekend in Macon, showcasing flag, showcasing the All-Stars, 8-man, 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A state championships. You can watch it all on GIAA.TV. That is the name of the site that you can go to and be able to watch it. Don't forget, cheerleading competition coming up this Saturday, Richard.
Yeah.
Watch that on GIAA.TV. Again, we got the high school scoreboard show coming up this Saturday, Richard. What are you looking forward to with that? This Friday, excuse me.
I'm looking forward to all those 18 games in the second round in the quarterfinals of all the classifications in the GIAA. We'll start getting some clarity, and these predictions that we're making, they might end up panning out. And so hopefully, like we're right on our picks. But yeah, we're excited about this upcoming scoreboard show, as these teams have the right to advance to the semifinals, which will be played next week.
Yep. So make sure to tune in next week, and we will have on a contributor that will talk about the state championships for cheerleading, Richard. We'll talk more about the semifinals that are coming up for football inside the GIAA and getting us ready for Macon. So busy week next week as well. Thank y'all so much for watching. It's another great edition of Around the Association here in the GIAA. Can you believe it? Also, Richard, before we leave, basketball season is here.
There we go.
Wrestling season is here. So we got our winter sports. Swimming is here.
Archery.
Archery is here. So we can't wait to cover all those sports, but specifically basketball. This is the primary sport in the fall, just like for for winter, just like for fall, it's football. But we want to talk about all the incredible sports. But basketball season is upon us. Teams are already playing games. Time stops for no one, man.
No, it's already here, and cannot wait, as basketball championships will be here before you know it, and they'll be taking place in February.
Basketball state championships will be the 27th and 28th. We also got the round 1, 17th and 18th, and round 2, the 21st and 22nd. All games. First game was allowed October the 20th, so season started literally a couple weeks ago, and now teams are obviously scheduling, wait until football's over with it, so they don't actually start till mid-November, but that is here, Richard, and I'm looking actually having a game starting tonight.
Yeah, and I've noticed on the website, we got a brand new site. The 1A and 2A champion or semifinals were at Bruton Parker last year. Yeah. They're going to be at ABAC in Tifton.
Yes.
How about that?
Tifton, Georgia, and Columbus State University hosting the semifinals, and then Columbus State University hosting the championships, and of course the basketball playoffs. First round and second round will be in Macon, Georgia. Actually, first round will be at the host site.
Yeah, host site.
Quarterfinals
will be in Macon at like Tatnall, FPD, and Stratford.
So we got those sports going on. Swimming that just got underway. Their state meet will come up January 31st. They were able to start practice Monday the 20th. So October the 20th. And that is pretty much when all the winter sports was able to start there, Richard. And then wrestling is also underway here in this winter sport, and it started October the 20th, just like, again, I made mention all the winter sports. Their duels meet come up January 23rd and 24th, and the state meet is coming up February 6th and 7th at George Walton and Monroe, and then Riverside Preparatory Academy in Gainesville. And then, of course, finally, we have the archery competition, and archery, again, started their practice a little bit earlier, though. They actually been going on since July. That's when they had their first practice and they can have their first meet. The state tournament, though, will not be until January the 10th. So they got meets going on since earlier this year. So those are the main sports that are coming up right now. We cannot wait to talk about them on Inside the GIAA in this upcoming winter season. Yeah, I'm excited that we start back up inside the GIAA, especially when we get deeper into the winter sports. But, yeah, it's just a great time to be a GIAA sports fan. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for watching. We appreciate it. We're live from the Beck Center studios. Thank you to Roger Beck and the Beck Center for the support of the GIAA. It's Inside the Association. We'll see you next time on Friday night for the high school scoreboard. So GIAA.TV.